Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Epic the Musical. Today we're going to be listening to the third saga, which is titled The Ocean Saga. And I don't think I've said this before, and I don't really know where it would have come up, seeing as how this is only the third one of these I've done. But seeing as many of my other reactions are to shows, usually I lead in by saying, welcome back to whatever. Today we're going to be watching whatever. So it's really weird to kind of trick my brain and saying, no. Yes, even though I am watching something, the main focus here is listening to the music. So it's really weird to kind of, I have to break my muscle memory a little bit to say we're going to be listening to instead of watching. Just, a tiny little content creator thing, but I just figured I'd share. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to this. I was discussing Epic with a friend of mine, a couple friends of mine, and I said, yeah, I really like the Cyclops Saga a lot more than Troy. And they said, yeah, this thing kind of just goes on an upward trend. Like each saga just better than the last. I don't know throughout the whole thing, or at least that's what they said to me. So if we kind of get like that gradual step up every time, I'm all here for it. Kind of similar to a part from Fiona and Cake season 2, where we had like a 4 or 5 episode stretch where just each episode just topped the last. And it was just this glorious, constantly getting better each time kind of thing. So, hey, I'm expecting good things here. Being the Ocean Saga, I don't know if we're going to get sirens. I have been asking, but I'm sure we're finally going to get Poseidon. And I'm very excited for that. So let's scooch over here and get ready to listen. Additionally, I don't think I've really talked about the release of these things. I just did a quick Google before recording, and it looks like the first saga came out on Christmas of 2022, with the Cyclops Saga coming out a couple months after that in, I think maybe the next month, I think in January. Then we had a long break, and then this and the next 3 came out like just within a couple months of each other. This originally released in December of 2023 to kind of place where we were in time at the release of this. So not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. I did not see when the final part of it came out. I think it concluded in 2024. I think it was all out there then. So it's been a little less than 2 years since we've had the whole thing. So, hey, I'm glad to be getting to it. I've certainly heard about this for a long time, and, well, here we are. Hey, make sure you leave a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you see when more of these epic reactions come out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this saga compared to the others, as well as, just what you thought of the reaction, anything you want to tell me. Additionally, if you want to see this or any other epic reaction video, I'm listening to music, but I'm creating visual media here with the videos. But if you want to see any of these videos uncut, unedited, the next 1 or 2 a little early, there's a link to the Patreon down in the description below. If you want to, support the channel just a little bit extra and get a little something extra in return. As always, I'm glad that you're just here watching on YouTube. And without, I don't think I talked about what tea I was drinking last time, but before I forget, my tea for tonight is vanilla Komaro. And as always, I'm going to be watching a couple animatics made by the community as curated by people from my Discord, or one person in particular from my Discord. Link to the Discord, by the way. I don't plug that enough, but I have a Discord channel if you want to hop in here, talk Epic. There's a couple super fans in there. Talk movies, talk games, anything. Feel free to hop in. It's an open Discord. I'd love to have you there. But this first song that we're going to listen to today is just called Storm. And the animatic is by, I hope I'm pronouncing this correct, Ximena Natzel. Ximena, second word, Natzel. So once again, as always, links to the animatics that I watch are going to be down in the description below, but I don't think I've seen any from this channel. So, hey, as always, I'm excited to get new animatic creators in here. So let's go ahead and get started with Storm, the first song of the Ocean Saga, in 3, 2, 1, go. Already, like the horn, if it was just a slightly different patch on a keyboard, would sound a little bit like the Reading Rainbow kind of theme. This is very loud in my head. Now that everything's kicked back in, I kind of really like the big horns there. Once again, very different sounding from what we've gotten in the last 2 sagas. Yeah, once again, I've made this joke many a time, but I don't think this storm is going to be your final test.
We will capsize with these waves, our fleet will fail. Have them follow my ship, I'll ensure that we prevail.
Yeah, it's almost as if we've angered another god who has it out for us here.
At this rate, we won't make it out alive. Help to
Oh. Olympus itself?
You really just grab the harpoons, as many as you can find.
What do you have in mind?
We're gonna shoot for the sky.
What?
Interesting. Like a sky anchor? Or are we gonna have it, like, guide us?
Shooting for the island in the sky.
Yeah, and this is a part that I definitely do not remember from the Odyssey. So I'm locked in with trying to learn this part of the story, it seems. Yeah, how strong you would have to be to throw... Oh, that was it, okay. I guess we'll find out more about this floating island next time. That song was all right. I did like the harmonies in the storm. I'm gonna get the melody wrong. Speaking of melodies, I didn't say from last time, as I did for the Cyclops saga, I had, the Penelope. That was like the kind of melody hook that got stuck in my head. This past week, between recording Cyclops saga and now, I've had the 600 men refrain that happened a bunch of times throughout the Cyclops saga, which all of a sudden now I'm blanking on. Probably because I just heard this, and this melody is kind of sticking in my head. The horns are still playing in here, but the 600 men that got mentioned a bunch of times throughout that's the kind of melody that stuck with me throughout this past week. My apologies for blanking on this now. But yeah, this song itself, like, this one was just okay to me. It's not that there was not too much there. It's just that, like, it was a storm. Like, it does what it says on the tin. It was a storm that they went through. But I'm much more intrigued by this floating island. So let us pull up this next one, which is titled Luck Runs Out, which, seems like a running theme for this story. But this is from another channel that I don't recognize, from Crashite. Yeah, so we'll see this one and learn a little bit more about this floating island in the sky. Starting up in 3, 2, 1, go. A little lighter on the color palette here.
Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think you'll do.
You've heard the legends of the island in the sky. This proves they're true.
I have not heard the legends, my friend.
This is the home of the wind god.
And what's your plan?
I'm gonna climb to the top and ask him for a hand.
I cannot, for the life of me, remember the name of the Greek god of wind.
Don't forget how dangerous the gods are.
Have faith, friend, we've come this far.
Yes,
Not like I've made an enemy of any other gods,
you rely on wind and people die on it. Whoa.
Yeah.
I still believe in goodness.
The nobody thing did get you out of the situation, but you also did get yourself into the big bad situation last time.
Where is this coming from, my friend?
I just don't want to see another life end. Whoa, how much longer till the snake breaks free? How much longer till your great day sees?
Yeah, thinking about how you've led them up to this point. Yep, and the Cyclops too, just like I said.
Thank you for the concern, but brother, I can assure.
I got this, man. Don't worry.
But don't forget how much we've already faced. I took 600 men to war, and not one of them died there. In case you needed a reminder.
It wasn't until after the war that people started dying. Isn't that fun? Isn't that interesting?
I need to talk to you in private.
Is this like a subordination kind of thing? How dare you question my authority?
I can't have you planting seeds of doubt.
Oh wow, it is.
I can't have you disagreeing each route. Then comply with this, or we'll all die in this. Okay.
Yeah, ever the optimist, Odysseus. Okay. Yeah, and it's funny. Like, we heard what the island in the sky was, but didn't really get anything of it. It was more like just an interpersonal conversation between these two characters. And forgive me for not knowing the name of this second character. Eurylochus, I think. Anyway, that's a name I had not heard. But it's interesting because, at least me, being a layperson with only passing familiarity of the Odyssey, I always thought of Odysseus as the hero. He returns to Ithaca and he triumphantly like saves the day in there, right? We'll get there when we get there, right? But I always had him in my mind as this poor tragic hero who just had to go through so much just to get home. But here it's interesting that in the music they're portraying him as, kind of an idiot. Yes, he did lead them well in battle, but this isn't battle. This is God stuff. And like the other guy said, Eurolocus, I think that's just what I'm going to call him. Actually, let me... Yeah, Eurolocus. Wikipedia says he's portrayed as an unpleasant, cowardly individual who undermines Odysseus and stirs up trouble. So it's interesting. Yes, we got that in the music, but it's also a thing like he kind of is like at every moment he in this, since this musical has started, he has kind of led his people into danger. He's disobeyed two different gods now. If being commanded by a god, I think I would do the thing. But that's just me, If it were me, I just would have not gotten lost for 20 years. But hey, this is story. This is epic poetry fiction. And as I always like to say, when, people make dumb mistakes for seemingly just plot purposes, we wouldn't have much of a story if, there wasn't a problem that needed to be solved, right? So obviously I'm complaining about something that's like more than 2,000 years old at this point. Yeah, it's just interesting, like to go back to my original point, to think of Odysseus as this hero, and then through this kind of think of him, well, maybe he isn't. Maybe he is just kind of like in over his head here. Like, yes, he said he led all those men into battle and none of them died. It wasn't till all of this started that people started dropping, right? And it's not going to be the last. It certainly is not going to be the last. So, hey, let's just move on here then to keep your friends close. Which is also, this one's from Gigi, a name I do recognize from Troy Saga. So glad to have Gigi back here with the animatics. And trigger warning for this, flashing lights. Apparently, if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, I do have to do a good bit of editing to these. So I'll try to mitigate that as best I can, but just, a warning for that. So let us start up Keep Your Friends Close in 3, 2, 1, go. I like the almost pan flute sounding beginning. Of course, God of Winds, you would want like a wind instrument to kind of herald them in, right? Wait, hold on. I missed it. I missed the name of this god.
Great wind god Aeolus.
Aeolus, okay.
But our path to home is blocked by an impenetrable storm.
Would you have anything to do with this? Perhaps.
Can you cast the perfect winds for us and aid our journey home?
No.
Ha ha ha, I am the wind, twisting and turning.
Oh.
I give the fire enough to stay burning. Let's play a game.
Interesting.
Take a look right
Once
here.
again, I don't think you want to do this.
It has the winds of the storm all trapped. All you gotta do is not open this bag.
Sounds too easy, what's the catch?
Ha ha ha, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Never really know who you can trust.
I like this one so far. This is my favorite of the saga so far. Odysseus is going to get back to the ship and be like, hey, look what I got, and just immediately open it up. Or it's going to be that other fucker who was talking to him last time, Eurolocus.
It's treasure.
Oh, okay.
Open the bag. Let's see what you
Gotcha.
got.
No, do not!
No, for once it's y'all motherfuckers.
This bag has the storm inside. We cannot let the treasure rumor fly.
We'll try.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Eurolocus. I think, they set him up in the other song.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Oh, of course, just like, I gotta see how this goes.
For 9 days I've stayed wide awake,
Damn, dude. No sleep for 9 days is insane.
and I'm getting closer to you.
Oh, there it is.
Here it's open. So much has changed, but I'm the same. Yes, I'm the same. Just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open.
Wake up.
Oh, no.
Odysseus, they're opening the bag! Wake up!
Damn it, dude. Of course.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust.
Those little shitty little wind sprites, man.
I said to keep the back closed, but you weren't compliant. If I had to guess, you're headed to the land of the giants.
Oh, okay. No, we just dealt with Cyclops last time. Now giants.
We can save whatever wind is left to use another day.
I don't know if that's how that works, bud. It's one of those, once it's open, like, you can't bottle it back up.
Oh, this is Savithica! Do you know who I am?
Poseidon. Oh shit, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I've been waiting. Yeah, I know I've been saying I've been waiting for the I know I said I've been waiting for the sirens, but Poseidon also very high on my list for individuals to meet. I really like that one. I really like the playful tone. The kind of mischief of the gods is kind of one of the aspects of them that I enjoy throughout, mythology, when, gods play silly little pranks on each other. I feel like that's more in the Norse mythology, kind of, at least from what I've heard. The little bits that I've heard from Norse mythology, it seems like there was a lot of kind of pranks that happened between the gods, probably much similarly within the Greek pantheon as well. But, we heard, I want to say it was Zeus the first time in The Horse and the Infant, who said, "You must murder this child," right? We heard Artemis. No, not Artemis. Wait, was it Artemis? No, it was Athena. It was Athena. Sorry, my bad. Athena in the last two sagas, who warrior of the mind, like, I will train, like, he did see through her and did kind of best her in terms of wit, but also it was like, okay, we shall train together. You shall be under my, not command, but like under my protection, kind of, to be such a great warrior. And then last time, of course, we had the my goodbye, where she kind of left him. But it was, these gods were always kind of more on the serious side, and this last one had a little bit of whimsy to them. This wind god. I'm now blanking on the name. All right, whatever. I'm terrible with these Greek ass names, especially for some of the gods that like I said, I had never heard that name before. I know, the big ones and a couple of the small ones here and there. I did see Hades Town on stage on Broadway not last year at this point, in 2024, which was phenomenal. It was fantastic. I've played Hades as well, the game. Haven't played Hades 2 yet, so I'm familiar with enough of Greek mythology to at least get by. But some of these smaller names, like, that's two, the god and the other guy with Odysseus here, whose name I had never heard, that I had to look up basically at this point. But Poseidon I do know, and I know he's going to play a big role here. And I hope that's him. I hope I'm not a fool for making assumptions. He said, "Do you know who I am?" And I said, I think I do. So, hey, we are going to get to this last song of this saga, which I don't know if I said already, but this is titled Ruthlessness. And this animatic is also from Gigi. So 2 in a row from this one. I kind of like when I get that in the playlist. Like we got that with the first 2 songs of the Cyclops saga last time. It helps to have these songs that kind of like one leads right into the next, to kind of, have the 2 of them be the same artist doing them. So, when those big moments happen, like it's a similar kind of through line of the art. Like, I don't think the Cyclops battle would have hit as hard if it was like a new art style to get used to, between the first one I don't remember, and Survive was the second one. Sometimes I do remember names. But anyway, let us get to Ruthlessness. This is a long one too. This video is about 5 minutes long, so I think that might be the longest one so far. Let me go up to Horse and the Infant. Horse and the Infant was okay. Just a Man was in there as well, so that was a combined 6 minutes 41. But looking at everything else so far, this is far and away the longest thing on my playlist. But anyway, let us get started with the last song of this set, Ruthlessness, in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, once again, a content warning for flashing lights, so keep that in mind as well. Yo, that drop there. What a huge way to herald a huge god, right?
In all my years of living, it isn't very I get pissed off. But damn, you crossed the line.
Yeah, he is not happy.
I'm left without a choice and without a doubt. Yes, the battle force is swimming with the shark now.
I love his voice too.
But before you go, I need to make you learn how ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
And this is the one aspect of the story I did know, that Poseidon fucking hates this guy.
You are the worst kind of good, 'cause you're not even great.
Damn, that's a bar right there.
Who reeks of false righteousness, that's what I
And the instrumentation here in the background.
'Cause you fight to save lives, but won't kill and don't get the job done. I mean, you totally could have avoided all this had you just killed my son. But no,
Oh, I see.
you reveal your name, then you let him live. Unlike you, I got no mercy left to give.
Man, this one rules. All right, hold on. I need to do a quick pause here. This, like I said, this is a long one, and I had this thought. We get we've had electronic kind of bass songs, like very synth heavy. We've had piano bass songs, mostly with Athena. And then we've also had kind of rock based ones with heavy on the electric guitar. And we're getting all three of these here. Sometimes at once, all three of them kind of playing with like the kind of electric guitar, just kind of chugging along like chick, 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 chick kind of thing. And then, piano playing a beat in the background, but also the synth kind of doubling the piano. So we're kind of get like all that we've had get kind of remixed together here in like this big package. And like I said, the voice of Poseidon is incredible. I said that in like male singers who can sing with like, a higher tenor voice, they can really hit those high notes and do like all those runs up top. Like, yeah, that's fine. Like that doesn't impress me as much. But when you get someone who can put like personality in their voice as they're singing and just kind of give that rock rasp, as I said, that like vocal distortion within your throat, like a little bit, like, woo! I've been waiting for Poseidon. He did not disappoint. Let us continue on with this one.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
That was kind of a high note too on that last Sails.
But today you die, unless of course you apologize.
And I was gonna say Odysseus is gonna try to defend himself. He's not gonna apologize, right?
We took no pleasure in his pain.
Yeah, and hear the difference between their two voices. Odysseus sounds more like naive almost. Yeah. It just, man, once again, the instrumentation just like, these headphones aren't super great for like bass coming through, but the bass on these like hits is like rattling my brain a little bit. All right.
You done? When does a ripple become a tidal wave?
Now it does.
When does a man become a monster?
When he showed cruelty to the Cyclops, right? I love that coming back too.
The monster that always draws near.
And there's that bag of wind with the winking face on it.
All I gotta do is open this bag. What?
Oh. All right, I guess you could save some. Good to see you again, if only for a second.
Remember me.
Oh, wow, and even remember them coming back. I love all the reprises we get. Okay, this looks like it's more animatic stuff. I think the song itself is over. I see. Man. All right. So, you know that meme where they say, had us in the first half, not gonna lie? That's kind of how I feel. The first two songs didn't do too much for me. They were fine, don't get me wrong. But certainly the intrigue of the floating island was a lot more present in my mind. And I was just waiting to find out more about it. So when I get the kind of argument between the one guy and Odysseus, the one guy whose name I don't remember, who's probably fucking dead now. It would be funny if we keep getting the 600 men motif, but it's like 300 men. And then another saga from then, 50 men. Like, it just keeps getting smaller and smaller as they keep getting fucking killed. I don't know how many of them are still around. I know that there's some still with him, right? I don't think this is just Odysseus from here on out, especially because from what I remember, the call of the sirens come, and once again it all comes back to the sirens for me. That it's not just Odysseus. It's wait. Is that where they tie him to the mast so that he could hear it? And like, he wanted to hear the song, and oh shit, I have to look up it now if that's the Odyssey. Hang on, give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, that is the Odyssey, where he demanded to be tied to the I don't even remember the point I was making. I just wanted to see if that itself was from the Odyssey. Yeah, so there are other people with him, because from what I just looked up, that little bit of story is that he commanded his men to tie him to the mast so that he could hear the song, but also that they would stuff up their ears so they couldn't hear him like rambling and raving like a lunatic, right? And also so they wouldn't hear the song, right? So I know that he still has men with him. They're not all dead except for him at this point. I just don't know how many still remain. Yeah, so I started off by saying, had us in the first half, not gonna lie, those songs were fine, but when we got the Wind God and we got Poseidon in these last two, like, that's where this saga really picked up for me. Were those two songs good enough to elevate them above the Cyclops saga? Maybe. Ruthlessness itself, I think, is the best song so far in the whole of Epic. I liked the cohesion of the Cyclops saga, whereas, this one had, that little side conversation that was the second song that kind of, I don't want to say took me out of it, but I was just like, okay, you can't introduce the floating island and then not give us the floating island, right, for a whole song. But once we got up there, the saga really picked up, and I think Ruthlessness is the best song so far. So maybe that does elevate it enough. Like I said, I really like the cohesion of the Cyclops saga, but the highs of this one were just so much higher than anything that we've heard so far. Real fantastic stuff. I really enjoyed that one. And once again, I love just as we're going and we're picking up more and more songs and melodic motifs here and there that we keep reprising so many of them. I caught little bits of, at one point I heard the Penelope and Telemachus that I said has been stuck in my head, and hearing Poseidon. Oh, what did he say? Which one was it? Oh yeah, hearing the when does a ripple become a tidal wave, when does a man become a monster? That was good. But yeah, it was, I'm a sucker for that in music, right? So I love that they're doing it like fairly regularly, and that it's done so well, so tastefully. So yeah, I think my final review is that probably the best saga so far. The lows were, I don't even want to say lows, because it's not like the songs were bad. It's just me and my like idiot brain that needs to be constantly stimulated was like, but what's on the island? I want to hear more God stuff. So hey, once we got there, like I said, it was fantastic. So hey, I don't think I have anything else to say here. So what did you think about this saga, dear viewer? Was this your favorite up till now? Is this your favorite? It might be. Do you agree with me about Ruthlessness, or was I a little too harsh on the first couple songs here? Don't forget to let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and I will catch you next time for the next saga of Epic the Musical. Take it easy, everybody.